Speak I of ancient Atlantis, speak of the days of the kingdom of shadows, speak of the coming of the children of shadows. Out of the great deep were they called, by the wisdom of earth men, called for the purpose of gaining great power. Far in the past, before Atlantis existed, men there were who delved into darkness, using dark magic, calling up beings from the great deep below us. Further came they into this cycle, formless were they, of another vibration, existing unseen by the children of earth men. Only through blood could they have formed being. Only through man could they live in the world. In ages past were they conquered by masters, driven below to the place whence they came. But some there were who remained, hidden in spaces and plains unknown to men. Lived they in Atlantis as shadows, but at times they appeared among men. Aye, when the blood was offered, for they came they to dwell among men. In the form of man they amongst men, but only to sight were they as are men. Serpent-headed when the glamour was lifted, but appearing to man as men among men. Crept they into the councils, taking forms that were like unto men, slaying by their arts the chiefs of the kingdoms, taking their form and ruling over man. Only by magic could they be discovered, only by sound could their faces be seen. Sought they from the kingdom of shadows to destroy man and rule in his place.
Okay, so as you heard in that little passage, what do they say about sound? Now, before we even consider that, notice what it says about these entities or these fallen angels, basically is what they are. It said that in the form of man, they came amongst us, but only to sight were they as men. In other words, on the outer appearance, they appear as men. So this is the same description. I talk about this in the anthology. How our foreparents described angels as white men. But then it says in the next passage, they are actually serpent-headed when the glamour is lifted. What is glamour? It's makeup, right? It's a disguise, a facade, something you put on to change your outer appearance. And one thing you're probably very familiar with, a makeup technique or glamour technique that's used today to disguise the true appearance is called contouring. It gives your face a completely different appearance. You don't look the same at all. And then in the next passage it says, but they appeared to man as men among men. They crept into the councils. What's a council? Like your government officials, your chiefs, and your priests and your priestesses. They said, but these beings crept into those councils, taking forms that were like men. They killed by their arts the chiefs of the kingdoms. Who are the chiefs of the kingdoms? Okay, perfect example would be your kings and queens. Let's talk about the descendants of Adawa'ama. The leaders, the chiefs, the priests, the priestesses, your kings and your queens. It says that these entities, the fallen angels, slayed by their arts the chiefs of these kingdoms.